From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's law.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Just tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM with Solomon of FEM. Amnesty International has exposed massive killing in the southeastern part of Nigeria. The latest Amnesty report on the southeast has indicted the police, army, the regional security outfit Ibubiagu, and non-state actors for massive killings, forced disappearances, and various violations of human rights in the region. According to the report, over 1,844 people were killed by both state and non-state actors between January 2021 and June 2023 alone. Amnesty International urged the government to act fast and stop the killings in the region. The report, a decade of impunity, attack and unlawful killings in southeast Nigeria, documented unlawful killings, torture and other ill treatment, enforced disappearances, arbitrary arrest and displacement at the hands of rampaging gunmen, state-backed paramilitary outfits, vigilantes, criminal gangs and cults in the southeast region between January 2021 and June 2024. The Nigerian authorities' brutal clampdown on pro-Biafra protest from August 2015 plunged the southeast region into an endless cycle of bloodshed, which has created a climate of fear and left many communities vulnerable. Assassinations of prominent personalities and attacks on highways, security personnel and facilities are chilling reminders of the region's insecurity. Issa Sanusi, director of Amnesty International Nigeria, said the government must stop turning a blind eye to the unlawful killings, arbitrary arrest and detention, torture, and forced disappearances and destruction of properties in the southeast region. Authorities must live up to their constitutional and international human rights obligations, including by ensuring all suspected perpetrators are brought to justice in fair trial, no matter who they are, and what victims and their families have access to justice on effective remedies. The government joining me to help analyze this latest report by Amnesty International is Barrister Shakiru Omolaja. He's a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, I have read the report, and my take is this. Can you know that there's an organization that is so concerned with the insecurity in the southeast of Nigeria. It is really encouraging that a group of persons could come together, spend their resources, or get sponsored to research, to ask questions, to pinpoint and apportion blames to where we think the problem is. This is just an overview because Amnesty International itself has been in the hands also the guilty person. But before we go to that side of the argument, shall we honestly ask ourselves, is there insecurity in the southeast of Nigeria? The insecurity in the southeast of Nigeria, which shall we say is really responsible? The general accusation, the very convenient blame game is to say, oh, Fulani herdsmen are killing Southerners. But how possible is it for a minority Fulani herdsmen in a densely populated Igbo-speaking area, or let's say Igbo-speaking Igbo state? I am not saying that we do not have the implication of Fulani herdsmen. I am not saying that the usual tragic narrative of farmers, herders, clashes is a ruse, or it is not true. The average Nigerian knows that it is a battle. All the countries of Nigeria are fighting the menace of Fulani attackers or terrorists. But the key question is, are the Fulani herdsmen who are not accused of trying to steal people's land all over the country, are they truly the ones committing the atrocities being ascribed to them? I think from what we are seeing from the southwest of Nigeria, from the southeast, from the south, especially from the southeast. For example, if anybody should know, the governor of the state should know more than any other person. And Professor Chukwuma Charles Solido said in Maryland, talking to diasporans, Maryland, United States of America, he said 99.99% of attacks, of violent attacks against people of Anambra and other eastern parts of the country are committed by Igbo youth. We must say that Professor Charles Solido does not know what he's talking about. He has security reports. It's very lettered. He's an indigent. He knows it. Amnesty International to risk their lives constantly to bring out reports such as this, so that those who are concerned will of necessity be compelled, if not do it willingly, if they will not perform the function imposed upon them by the state, then they will not be compelled by the pressure of these to do the needful. That is under siege, not by Fulani herdsmen, but by Igbo youth who are coming under the guise of IPOB, not to liberate the Southeast, not for self-emancipation or the realization of the Biafran dream, but for sheer criminality, because his crime was actually, or let me say actually, a lucrative business. Ever since the wealth of Evans was exposed to Nigerians, his stupendous wealth, kidnapping in Nigeria skyrocketed. Brothers are now kidnapping sisters. Sisters kidnapping brothers. Husbands kidnapping wives. People are now kidnapping to raise humongous amounts of money. Therefore, the East is under siege, not by Fulani herdsmen, not by Fulani militias, but by Eastern youth who have inordinate ambition to be rich. I've given the terrible example of Evans, the kidnapper. Summarily, the report is something to be saluted. It's something the government should not be angry with. It's something that should further comply, not just Professor Charles Soludo, all the Eastern governments and the South. So look, what is going on? Shall we always believe? That's why negotiations will accuse them of destroying their place and coming to take over Lagos. That if they are so smart, if they are so good, if they are so intelligent, they should go and develop the east. Apart from the terrorism of these kidnappers, of these violent criminals, the natural terror for Southeast is also there. I use the word terror advertedly, and that is erosion. Look at the way the eastern states of Nigeria are facing erosion, really massive erosion, that the topography is more or less destroyed. Why don't these youths come together? Their agitation for self-determination by almost by whatever law, either local law, international law, municipal law, it is a legitimate agitation. But when that agitation, when that genuine agitation is used as a projectile for criminality, every person, every responsible parent should be concerned, like the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, is seriously concerned. Thank you.
Okay, now there's a lot to unpack there. You made quite a number of some statement that I'm afraid some people might call divisive. But let's start with Amnesty International. Amnesty International is known as a reputable organization when it comes to reports and data and analysis, and it's not just the fact that it's an international report. Well, called one Oyibo man from one country, somewhere to come and do a report. We're talking about Issa Sanusi here, who is the director of Amnesty International, of course, a Nigerian, with this report, and they don't have a reputation.
I've accused them over and over that they are tools to divide Africa. They are tools to further down Africa, that they are not objective, because Europeans or America or whoever who is outside Africa to be friends of Africa. If you Google it, like we are discussing this now, I'm also having the opportunity of being able to use the internet. And the report is all over there that Amnesty International has faced a lot of criticism all over the world of being used to divide countries, to divide states, of being used to cause confusion, to create instability against the Southeast. That is against the Southeast. That the report of Amnesty International is biased, skewed, and deliberately woven in favor of the state of Nigeria to further subjugate, oppress, and criminalize the Southeast. Amnesty International, yes, that organization, this paid in dollars, how do you think it will work? Before I became a member, what do you think was the thinking? What do you think is mentality?
So what do you think it stands to gain if he's bringing out report against Nigeria, a country which is he's a citizen of? He's not like he's from Ghana or from Canada or from UK. He's a Nigerian, son of the soil.
Thank you so much for this your question. I am sure you know about your sister, Kemi Badenoch, who is a British citizen now. And the type of thing that Kemi Badenoch, the type of... I want to control myself because
these are the two different situations here, sir.
Let me land, please. Let me land. Kemi Badenoch, look at the terrible things he said about her school. So that government get college. Shagamu. There are some persons. The number we tell you is you have to take a census of Nigerians and Africans who deliberately, out of ignorance, forever want to put down Africa. Say that Europe and America, and Asian countries are far better than Africa. So just to continue to get funds, to attract funds to Africa, they must depict Africa as a pariah state, as a state that's so far gone. Don't look at what just Amnesty International is doing. Look at their AIDS campaign. AIDS has to come from Africa. Ebola has to come from Africa. All terrible things have to come from Africa. Thank God. COVID-19 was not said to have come from Africa. You must understand the Cold War going on in the world. The international calculations against Africa, and in Nigeria and other parts of Africa or the whole of Africa, what have they ever published about those who are stealing the money of Africa, those who are looting the resources of Africa, those who are devastating Africa?
They've actually written several reports on that, actually.
Wait now. How often have they criticized Switzerland, America, Britain, and all other countries where the wealth of Africa, when it is stolen, is being deposited? So you need to be vigilant. You need to be extremely vigilant to know that your own agents, your own citizens can be used to destroy the country. Nigeria can be used against Nigeria. For example, the so-called Boko Haram people, they cannot be so successful, even though they are trying to say that they are from Niger, they are from Chad, they are from wherever. There are elements within the country. Just like Professor Charles Soludo is telling you and I that the devastation, the destruction of the factories that the so-called Fulani S-men, it is a lie. It is an unbelief. People who are destroying the East for their selfish reasons. I am not saying Palestine is selfish. Let's add the misunderstood. But I am saying that what believe everything we are told that this European foreign organization has been in the best interest of Africa. They are not our friends. Why would they always publish what is evil and bad about Africa? There have been a number of inventions from Africa. Why would they not encourage all this? Why would they not give us money to produce things that we need for us to produce solar and other things? But when it comes to diseases that they impose on us, they'll be quick to come and say, oh, for this disease, for that. So, again, I repeat myself like a bad record. Do not trust Europeans. Do not trust Amnesty International. Who climb and thinker. Don't believe them so much. They are agents of destruction.
Okay.
Agents of destabilization.
You used...
Just like IMF. And the World Bank. They are not friends of Africa.
You used Kemi Badenoch as an example, but you and I know she's a politician, and politicians tend to speak with both mouths. But the Amnesty International director isn't exactly known to dabble into politics. I don't know him personally, but of course from the record, you know, that's available to the public is you can't exactly call him a politician compared to Kemi Badenoch, who is trying to pander to some of the white supremacists in the UK, having to practice conservative politics, which is like the major mainstay of the whites in UK and in US. But on the other hand, let's go to this Amnesty International report here, where you keep mentioning Fulani herdsmen. Now, if you check, of course, we know that Fulani herdsmen have been running rampage, you know, all over the country. But what I understand with this Amnesty International report, you know, which is a report between January 2021 and June 2023, they said that most of the 1,844 people that have been killed between that time period are majorly from majorly from the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police. They even accused the Eastern Security outfit there, the Ebube Agu. They also mentioned some, vigilantes, criminal gangs, and cults, in the region as the main perpetrators of this killing. But you kept mentioning Fulani herdsmen. I want to understand, what does Fulani herdsmen get to do with this?
No, you don't seem to get it, please. And maybe I should just address this very calmly.
Okay.
We are talking about insecurity in the Southeast. The report of Amnesty International is indicting the Agri.
Yes. The Nigerian army, the Nigerian police, yes.
The Nigerian army and other militias.
Several paramilitary outfits, actually.
Yes, I said other militias.
Yeah.
Other militias. But for this report, the narrative before now, like Professor Charles Soludo went to America to go and disabuse. The general narrative or the often narrative is that all the crimes being committed in the Southeast were being committed by non-Igbos.
No, where did you get that narrative from? I can't remember coming across that.
Okay. Oftentimes when there's an attack in the Southeast, what we hear is that Fulani herdsmen are come to attack. Fulani herdsmen are come to attack. Then
we've heard several attacks in the Southeast, and we've heard different narrative. We've heard the security agencies clamping down on IPOB indigenes, and with that, a lot of stray bullets. Some of these are confirmed report.
Yes.
So I've never personally, as a journalist, seen 90 or 95% of reports saying the killings in the East are all outside people. We've had different people.
Hello.
We have yeah.
Did I not just call your attention? As we do this discussion, you can Google what Professor Soludo said.
Well, Professor Charles Soludo can't be the spokesman for all Igbo person. He's a politician too.
No.
He's a politician. He's a politician too, with both mouths.
Solomon.
Yeah.
Let us make this a progressive discussion. If you were to go by your position, then no politician, no single Nigerian politician will be accorded with any respect.
Well, most politicians outside the world, including even Nigeria, don't exactly believe.
You are therefore saying that what the governor of Anambra State said to the African Igbo, it should not be trusted. That is the purpose of what you are saying, and I totally disagree with you. Totally.
That's one person speaking for millions of Igbo people.
Wait now. Remember, he is the governor of the state. The boss starts on the statement. He received security reports regularly.
And you don't think he's pandering to the APC administration?
Maybe yes, maybe not. But I want to urge you to please take this opposition cautiously. I am appealing to you. You also want to accuse Dave Umahi, maybe another person, all these other governors in the South and Southeast who are struggling to bring down terrorism in their part of the country. Then you say they are doing it because of politics. People is doing it because of politics. But it's able to safeguard the lives of his people. Then good to him as a politician. No, the message is this thing. Do not totally believe that those who will help Africa are Africans. No, that would be totally unfair. That would be totally untrue. That would be totally, with due respect to you, unreliable. No. Those who are to help Africa will be Africans. They have been waiting where the shoes, they know where the shoes pinch them. Where the shoe pinch it. So do not just throw out the baby with the bath water. That will not be fair at all. Yes, politicians speak from the two sides of their mouth, know about it, but not all of them. Some of them are struggling to be statesmen. Let's take the example of Anambra. Complete report is basically about the Southeast. Are you saying, in all honesty, that no governor from Anambra, no politician from Anambra has done anything to develop the Southeast? I'm not talking about what percentage of what they have done now. Are you saying that because they are politicians, they are never to be trusted? No, sir, I disagree with you. And I'll continue to say this forever. I do not trust anything coming from the West. The West deliberately devastated, underdeveloped, and ruined, and they continue to ruin Africa. The Africans
and then you think the leaders of Africa aren't complicit to the devastation of their land?
Okay, that is a very fair question. Yes, just like I'm saying to you, and I like this your question. Just like I'm saying to you that some of the agents of Amnesty International may actually be spies against the country. May be agents of underdevelopment of their own country. Yes, this is your question. I say again, I like it. Just like some governors may be working against their people, others are struggling to work for their people. Have you asked yourself this? Do you know enough history to ask yourself, why must you, Kashimaru Olawale Abiola, who was voted most popularly by all Nigerians to become the next president of Nigeria under Babangida, why was he denied his mandate? Why was he murdered? Who came to murder him? Who were the persons in his company when he was murdered? Who poisoned him? Who put cyanide in his tea? To the right, water committee, Americans. They came to say hello to him. The man ended up dying. Why do you think that happened?
And you don't think for Americans to succeed, there should have been some Nigerians that were complicit that helped. In other words, if we Africans don't want the West to invade us, that we wouldn't allow them. But we have wicked Africans, greedy politicians that are aiding these Africans. These Americans? Do you now think it's still fair for us to blame all the troubles of Africa and Nigeria to the West?
We are on the same page. Okay. And because your station is living so widely, we need to be careful what we push out there. We need to let people know that we should stop being comfortable with rushing to Europe and America. They are not the strength of Africa. You say some Africans are complacent. Yes. Africans who wanted to emancipate Africa were deliberately murdered by America. What happened to Muhammad Gaddafi of Libya? Now, Saddam Hussein is not an African. What happened to him? What happened to Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, who was poisoned? He died in custody. They pretended they were going to help him to realize his mandate. Tell me that country in Africa.
Okay, so I think we're slightly veering off course. Okay.
A minister. Please let our listeners, let Nigerians tell us one country in Africa that Europe has assisted to become an El Dorado, to become successful. They are deliberately working against our emancipation. So that, yes, you may be pretending that slave trade is ended. Slave trade is ended. What you now have is voluntary slave trade. They will destroy your economy. This will not work because idiots are in power. Most of our leaders are idiots, but not all our leaders. Some leaders want to patriotically serve their country. They sabotage them. Why do you think that the insurrection, the terrorism of Boko Haram is yet to be brought down? France has been accused of sponsoring Boko Haram. I think I said it on your program before. You need to be deeper than the surface. Don't read all these primary school issues. Why have they stopped teaching issues in our schools? Who killed Murtala Ramat Mohammed? When Murtala Ramat Mohammed said that home administration, African administration, I think in Nigeria or Angola, said Africa has come of age. That was the day was nabbed to be killed.
And
Shortly
you
after,
you
he
still
was
think
killed.
it's fair for us to be blaming the whites, the Westerners on the grown continent like
You
Africa?
blame them. You must just understand them to know the saboteurs that are at home. This your question is exactly my point that do not totally trust Taliti and Rafandani, who are the agents of IMF in Africa. So these countries are using your own people against you. I don't know how much of spy stories you read.
Okay.
About
Okay.
agents.
Let's go back to one of the words you said, which some people may take as you being anti-Igbo. You made a statement like, if they are that smart, why don't they go develop their side? And we're talking at a time where we're trying to unite a country. That sounds divisive and anti-Igbo.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain this.
Okay.
It is not just me talking. Remember, I keep telling you, each time I have an opportunity to speak either on TV or wherever, I see it as a service to humanity. I remember that the internet does not forget. Whatever you say today, 100 years from now, shall be brought out to confront you with if you live up to be 100. That statement did not necessarily emanate from me. It was a statement to challenge the Igbos. Just as some of them are trying to go back home now to see how they can start it.
Why do they need challenge though?
No, of course they need challenge. Because if you are so critical of others, of some other people, and we see evidence.
Igbos are so critical of other people. How?
Solomon, will you allow me to talk? Will you allow me to talk, please?
Okay.
I beg you, please, so that we can make it a successful conversation. We all know when we have this political talk, when an Igbo man talks, we see where it's coming from. It is Biafra. We must do this. What do you think? What happened in Ghana? Happened in Ghana. People have been living in Ghana from time immemorial. Why all of a sudden? Because a particular gentleman overpulled his luck. A particular gentleman appeared to have become too big for himself to manage. No, let us be honest. Let us be critical. Let us be.
You made a statement that we should not throw the baby and the bathwater. It seems like that's what you're doing.
Yes.
You're pointing, you're painting all the Igbos with the same brush based on the activities of one or two bad
How
persons.
can you say this for goodness sake? That is not fair. You have this capsule from Adam, and what the getting to doing, get you married. You have no from Adam. All those who have done very well. I didn't know the same people who are criticizing Peter Obi so patiently, so bitterly. Is that to suggest that those who criticize others of necessity hate them, why are you not comfortable with the truth?
No, I mean, I'm just asking questions. Yeah, we're having a conversation.
No, but you must ask the questions in a way that I'm not supposed to be biased.
I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question based on your comments, based on your statement, for you to clarify.
You do not take my comments in bits and pieces. You must have a complete view of my comments. The challenge is all parts of the country can be developed. I was going to point your attention to this issue of Nigeria. What happened during the Makazini riot? Why was it direct targeted? Why does it assume that wherever they go, they are doing so well, all of a sudden the individuals rise up to attack them? Is it fair? Is it in their character or in their destiny that it is so treated? We are saying, if some people seem not to welcome you in their places, if for whatever reason, and you are so gifted, then, though I will not speak about this program, my people have a program that when your friend is eating, and he sees you coming, and he begins to frown, then you pay him back by telling him you are not interested in his food. When the great merchants of Igbo land, the great warriors of Igbo land, the great talents of Igbo land, who can do so much, and they are doing so much for Igbo land, if some states are criticizing them, then begin a gradual attraction, like Professor Shasongo is trying to do, like some other governments are trying to do. Begin to do a gradual, phased attraction back home. Come back home. Put industries, put put entertainment, put everything. Let's coming to Lagos be no longer attractive. And by this argument, it applies to the whole of Nigeria, not just these days. It applies to the whole of Nigeria. Make your home base attractive. If Igbos are playing from the east, sit down, let the government from the east sit down and ask, our children who are going to Lagos, what exactly are they going there to do? Portrait in Goslow, is that the best they can do in their life? To sell, to reach their life, in the front of moving vehicles. Look at the innovation, the inventions that are come from the east. But was there always take this outside the eastern part of Nigeria?
Barrister Molaja, Barrister,
I am not anti-Igbo.
Barrister Molaja, you do realize the development of Lagos. It's not just a Yoruba thing. You do know that Lagos was a capital of Nigeria. Lagos was a European center base when under the military, under the colonial rule. So it's not a Yoruba development thing.
Hello, I smile to myself. Honestly, I smile to myself, and I'm beginning to be suspicious of you.
How so?
But just cool down.
Okay.
You know that I'm struggling to say to you now. I'm not pushing forward a Yoruba narrative, a Yoruba agenda. Thank you for what you have just told me. The lesson is history that you have just given me. That remember, Lagos was the capital of Nigeria, was a colony developed by expatriates and not those who live in Lagos. But the question still remains. Some people are indigenous to Lagos. We made this place friendly to all those who came. Remember, before Lagos was the capital of Nigeria, Calabar, where you stood and I stood, Calabar was the capital of Lagos. Today, Lagos is no longer the capital of Nigeria. Abuja is now the capital of Nigeria. Go and see the level of development that is in Abuja, that is ongoing in Abuja. My narrative, my struggle to those who are listening to us, is not to preach an ethnic agenda. It's to preach sexism. It's to preach nation building. That let it not just be one part of the country that everybody wants to develop. All the trades that you want to do in Lagos, take some of these trades to the east. Whoever wants to buy these things must of necessity come to where you are. Go and develop your go and empower them. Look at the type of thing that they are pushing out from Aba. They are industrial skills, Aba. But unfortunately, when they do all these things, they will put a foreign name there. They are not proud to say made in Aba, Nigeria. So my very great struggle this afternoon is to tell Nigerians, develop wherever you are. Develop your state. If you want to accuse Yorubas, like you are accusing me, of being egocentric, of preaching division.
I didn't accuse you. I was just making a reference to a comment and statement you made.
Well, you are intelligent, and I think I believe intelligence too. Look at what is happening in America. I want my friend that Donald Trump will be returned as the president of America. If it were to be an African that is doing what Donald Trump is doing, they will call him a madman.
Well, they are actually calling him a madman, actually. So
look at the statement some Americans, some white supremacists in America made, that if Donald Trump was not voted, that they will go to war. And Donald Trump is saying, America first. It is a natural thing. Before I am a Nigerian, I am a Yoruba man. Before the Igbos in Nigeria and Nigerians, they are first Igbos. And we are saying that if you are pushing it, let us push it so practically. Yorubas are asking themselves, the Hausas are asking themselves, now what is the percentage of other Nigerians who can go to Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Abia to go and buy land? I do not know whether it is true, please. As a journalist, we can bring people to the book that some communities in Southeast, if somebody mistakenly sold land to you, and you attend their CBA meeting, they will ask you, who are you? that in the first place they will not even speak in English language. They will speak English. And when they say, who are you? They say, no, you cannot be here. That they will not sell their land to you. If it is true that they will not sell their land to anybody, and they have the money to go elsewhere to go and buy land, they must recognize that some persons are indigenous to that place. Like it's almost like a war in Ghana. You must learn to respect others. You must learn to respect the dream, the push.
Now, I have heard that allegation, and after, as a journalist, I've heard one or two persons confirm that can happen in Igbo land, but very, very few on rare cases. Just like I said before, judging a few bad eggs, to generalize, because I've had an experience in Lagos myself where I'm looking for an accommodation, and then the few agents I met kept telling me that the landlord wants only Yoruba people. And the landlord only wants Yoruba people, and I've gone to a few other places. They say, "Oh, I look at like I told the agent, I'm not Igbo." They say, "Well, it doesn't matter. You look Igbo, and so the landlord doesn't want you." I can as well judge the whole of Yorubas and the whole of landlord based on that experience I had, but I didn't do that because I personally know that a lot of very good and selfless Yoruba people. I mean, where I'm staying now, the landlord is even a Yoruba man. So I didn't judge all Yoruba people based on that. Because I'm not saying you are doing. I'm just saying that there seems to be a narrative going on in Nigeria that giving Igbos a bad name. That Igbos are this, Igbos are that, Igbos are that, and it makes me remember the history of the Jews that's finally culminated to the World War II genocide against the Jews, because for years they kept peddling certain narratives about the Jews. They kept peddling labeling certain Jewish people certain names, and then over thousands of years those narratives stuck, and then there came a man called Adolf Hitler. Then I came with the idea of wiping out all Jewish people, and then of course we saw what happened. And so it's like the same thing is happening, sort of about Igbo people in the country, where they seem to be painted or labeled certain things, and it's spreading like wildfire, and then some people are taking it as a gospel. Hello, sir. Looks like I've lost him. Let's try to see if I can call him back. Let's continue this conversation. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Okay, so it's good to have you back. If you're just tuning in, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and the program is Matters. And of course, we're trying to dissect an Amnesty International report where the organization is exposing massive killings in the southeastern parts of Nigeria, indicting indicting the police, army, regional security outfit Ibubago, and non-state actors for massive killings, forced disappearances, and various violations of human rights in the region. Now, I was making a statement before I lost you there, where some people would say there is a narrative against Igbos in this country, labeling them, painting them as the black sheep of Nigeria, and which kind of is a reminiscence of what happened against Jewish people, where for centuries, for years, novels, plays, movies were written against Jewish people, giving them certain labels and certain narratives. And after years and years and years and years and years of this narrative and this label, it became gospel and stuck to the extent that someone came called Adolf Hitler, growing up with that narrative, now came with the intention of wiping out Jewish people in Nigeria. It's looking a bit similar in Nigeria, where every single bad thing in Nigeria is done by Igbo people.
I totally agree with you, totally. And that's why I'm not comfortable at all with your angle and narration of how overwhelmingly you are compared the anti-Semitism of the Jews to whatever our brothers from Igbo land are facing in this country. We started this discussion on a very, very objective note. We have respect to what the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, is saying about the insecurity of the Southeast. If he has the shoes, he knows where to put it. The videos all over the internet of the meeting he had with people in diaspora, the meeting he had in Maryland, America, trying to encourage them to come back home to come and invest in the country. But he said to them, as I talk to you to come and invest back at home, I would like to be honest with you that the insecurity in Igbo land, it is not Fulani X-Men insecurity. It is the insecurity of criminal, terrible Igbo youth. The youth used to be the future of Igbo land. Nigeria has always been a peaceful country. Until the unfortunate Biafran War of 1967 to 1970. And after that, remember the slogan during the Biafran War. To keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. In this our discussion, we must be careful, be extremely careful, the type of narrative pushing forward, that we do not further divide Nigeria. The thing that people are criticizing the Igbos, for whatever reason, let the Igbos also be. The first right ever been it upon themselves. Because I am in Ikorodu. I am a Lagosian of 63 years. I knew a beautiful Lagos. Where Igbos are all over. Igbos are all over. It has not always been like this. You push us to terrible history. Ask people what happened to the Igbos in northern Nigeria, that they were unfortunately unfairly targeted. And they were not just going to massacre them.
You don't think it's the fallout from the Biafra War?
No. It is the reason why we must urgently bring back the teaching of history in our schools. And I want to cool down and appeal to you. And appeal to every Igbo man, including women who are living to us. I did not love you, Igbo. You are extremely enterprising. You are peaceful. You are dogged. But what some of us still not overcome it is aggression. The aggression. The person showing who you are or what you can be.
Now, okay.
Let it be for 1,000 years.
Now let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to this Amnesty report, where from some of the information I'm seeing here is I mean, it's for us journalists, it's not exactly new, because a lot of the report here is actually tallies with some of the reports we've had over the years with the military and paramilitary apparatus in the bids of chasing IPOB and ESN, people in the southeast tend to bomb. I mean, there was a popular story of the killings in Olu village, where there was a controversy with the Nigerian army, where they said that they had some IPOB member, and then lots of innocent lives were lost. I mean, it's all over the internet, and I think this is what Amnesty is talking about in a bit to the fight against IPOB. Lots of innocent people have been caught in the crossfire, stray bullets here and there. That's what this report is talking about.
No, I think we need to understand one thing, please. Before Amnesty International got up this saying that the crimes being attributed to Fulani herdsmen are not the handiwork of Fulani herdsmen, that if they wish are doing this thing.
But we've also seen story of Fulani herdsmen on rampage in the east. Actual Fulani, where some people were arrested.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. But is that what the report is saying now? That's not what the report is saying now. The report is saying that the killings in the southeast are the handiwork of both the Nigerian police, soldiers, SSS, and vigilantes. Vigilantes in the east. The question you want to ask yourself now is, do we have criminals who have penetrated the Nigerian police? Do we have criminals who have penetrated the Nigerian army? Do we have criminals who have penetrated the SSS? The local vigilantes, are they all loyal to the task of securing their state? The militias, the ASA members, the people who make independence for Biafra, are they all doing all that they're doing for the sake of Biafra? Or like Professor Charles showing the pictures, they are only after lucrative criminality. It is common that in every 12 you will always have a Judas. Sometimes back, I don't remember the year now, at the police station in the Kogi here, a police officer was stealing the bullet meant to be given to policemen when they are going out, and he was selling the bullet to armed robbers. And he was replacing the bullet with stones at the Takodo police station in the Kogi here. A big code, until he was found out. What we are saying, what Amnesty International wants to achieve with this type of report is that being the touchlight, look inward. Why are all the security efforts being made? Why are they failing?
Okay.
For example, look at Lagos State now. When you have the year of armed robbery or a bank robbery in Lagos State, when you have
the insecurity in Lagos State comes in different forms. I mean, one chance. I mean, I grew up in Lagos, where Lagos was known as a town that never sleeps. 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Yes, you can still. There were taxi drivers that is where the time they do their work. You can go to Lagos at any time with little or no insecurity. But now, 9 p.m. most shops are closed. Before you enter a taxi or a bus, you look left and right before you enter, because of how high one chance is. Isn't that a form of robbery?
I said bank robbery. And armed robbery is not the scenario you have painted. You know what it used to be. When we talk about armed robbery, they used to be gangs. They invaded homes. They were massive. going up and down. All I'm trying to say, I am not painting Lagos or any other part of Nigeria as an Eldorado while I am trying to put down the east or eastern part of Nigeria. No! All I'm saying to you now is that to get it straight, or to get it right, to do what is proper, all hands must be on deck. With the challenge thrown up by the Amnesty International directly indicting the army, the SSS, other militia groups, the police, then it is homework, urgent homework for all the organizations mentioned to look inward, to prove themselves. No state, let me repeat, is without criminals. Every state, every country has its own share of criminals. Now, how are they being managed? When I ask this, and I need to ask again, when last did you hear of a bank robbery in Lagos? It did not come on a platter of gold. It came with sacrifice. It came with something, humongous amount of money. It was the security of the state. It came with knowing the pretense of the real police. Lagos State is buying vehicles, patrol vehicles, and a lot of other things that we don't want to tell the public to secure Lagos. And we are gradually pushing for state police to secure all of us. That is Nigeria. And great economic value for the country before now. Top of companies, top of rubber, top of, apart from the crude oil. All these that is doing the right from the southeast and the south. What can they show for it? Look at how beautiful, how extremely beautiful Abuja is. Where is the money? Or where does the money come from? To develop Abuja, to get to this has been developed and still being developed. This oil money is what is giving Abuja. When can we fight in such a way that we keep peace and we become united and present a common front to the federal government of Nigeria that we want 70% of the city. Let 70% belong to all the communities that own oil. How much did they build? What money they use to build the first caliber that you know the best caliber agency? Kuwait. What money are they using to build Saudi Arabia? They are using to go regularly. The same oil money.
Okay, sir.
So the weight of Amnesty International was not be lost. While I am warning you and I not to believe everything Amnesty International says.
Okay.
Cook, line, and thinker.
Okay,
no.
sir.
I is warning you. I wish. Saying, don't believe them.
I wish the program is longer. I wish we can talk more, but unfortunately we have to go. I have to open the phone lines for one or two persons to make their own contribution. It's always a pleasure talking to you, Barrister Balaja. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
That Barrister Shakiru Omolaja is, of course, a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Unfortunately, I have just a limited time for us to for you to make your contributions. I know this is going to be quite heated. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Solomon.
Thank you for joining us on the show, sir.
Hi, Mr. Solomon. Why are you wasting our time like this so that we will contribute?
Well, I've opened the phone line for you to make your contributions then. Okay, Mazi Sonny. Okay, talk to us, sir.
Hey, well, Wisdom and Solo. You see, I don't know where you brought this analysis. It's very funny for us to. What you speak your mind, shall we know they condemn about. The name of the person speak truth. The Bible says that the truth can set you free. This young man speak the truth and he cannot speak the truth. I don't know why. The Amnesty International are telling what is going for Southeast.
Well, he's not a young man. He's a middle-aged man.
Where you call yourself, I don't know what to call yourself for. Is he a doctor or lawyer or whatever? But he not want to talk truth. That issue. So Amnesty International has spoken that is what is going on for Southeast. But this young man are talking about Chukwumato Saludo, who is telling us that is a president, which is Mr. President Tinubu,
is their friend for like 20-something years ago now. Why this young man, Chiku Masaludo, cannot start the Mr. President? So I'm not talking about today, Charles Soludo, but let the Charles Soludo know that he don't miss the track. It can even come in November. We can drive it, come out for that place. So make him go where he wants to go.
Okay, thank you.
So
Thank you.
want to just summarize, please, I want to summarize my matter.
Please summarize.
So,
we have a very short time for people to talk.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Good, have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. I'm trying to pick this WhatsApp call, but well, it's not going. Hello. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, my name is Chukuma from Ilasa.
Chukuma from Ilasa. Okay, 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
Yes, the Amnesty has said the truth. But see, if you go to Kigwe, Imo State now, you will see that every young man there from 15 years will be looking how to leave the Okigwe to anywhere they didn't even know. So the thing is that I don't know what the governor of Imo State is doing. Or did he bring these people to just kill us? I am 70 years.
Bring which people?
If I go home, I will not see
sir?
any. Hello?
Which people to kill you? The governor is bringing which people?
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay. So if I go home now, I cannot see a young man. I can send the message. Go there and do this. Go there and buy me fuel to put in generator since there's no line. Why they Okigwe have been a war front from 1967 to 70? You understand?
What's the reason for the war front?
I saw the war very well.
What do you think is
responsible? And I know that every time they just come to Imo State,
this man can't hear me.
It become a war front.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
King Solomon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Yeah, this is Lucky Boy, the one and only Calabar boy, calling from that book.
Okay, talk to us, sir.
Come on, they know that in job. I said, don't come on. Can't invite this kind of man. He's so tribalistic now. See what he's saying. See, 2018, I was in Port Harcourt. I traveled from Port Harcourt to Imo State regularly. Even 2019, sir, this Olu you mentioned. I was living in Olu in 2019 at a Boise market. That place was very industrious. Even this Biafra stuff, they were still doing it then. But we still come outside regularly. It was until they brought in soldiers that, in fact, it was the militias that were killing most of the people there. And nobody can thrive in a war-driven area now. So most of the people fled for their lives. The one that the governor of Anambra State said, it was about all his political opponents that sometimes they pay assassins to fight their political battles. What is this thing? Also, this thing, you know that it's not even people that are that normally dominate Lagos State. Lagos State is combination of plenty Nigerians, people from Calabar, people from Igbo, people from Asa too.
And you are from Cross River State.
I'm from Cross River State.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that I have some intertwined with Igbo people. Just that is the Igbo people that are most industrious in Lagos State.
Okay.
And they are, I don't know what this man is saying.
Thank you very much. We have to give time for other people. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
I'm Edward calling from Sango.
Okay, talk to us, sir.
This Amnesty report, from my own side, I know the killing is more than that amount, that particular number. Because there's a time I will sit at my hometown. I'm an individual of Imo State.
Okay.
You will see the bomb will be coming out from my backyard here. I will ask my brother, where is this thing coming from? Because there's army barrack at my back there. The thing will be moving to Osumowu, the same Imo State. And those people at Osumowu now have have run away from that area completely. Majority of them are living other places now. There's no youth in Imo State. I continue to wonder what the governor is doing. There's a time I had from my late brother wife that soldiers broke into her apartment and lived there and start slaughtering all the pigs and goats to eat. You see, the injustice in Imo State is terrible. I don't know whether there's any problem, maybe from presidential that oversee all these things that they are doing there. All the students, there's no progress, no life, nothing in Imo State. So can they question as a hope? What is his work in Imo State? Is it only killing? Look at the other time they say they hire him to be killing our boys. It's so bad. It's so bad. Let Nigeria stop all these things they're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me read some messages on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Solomon. Solomon Asika from Mushin. I totally disagree with your guest this afternoon because he's a bit biased, and his narratives as him using Evans as a yardstick. This has always been our problem. Massive kidnappings and killings has always been with the Igbo youths. Wandum is not from the southeast. Wandume is not from the southeast, but we all know how his kidnapping case ended. See, Solo, Nigeria is like a polygamist who married from 5 or 6 different tribes, and the wives begat children for him, but 2 of the children connive together and start squandering the wealth of their father, leaving the children of the remaining 4 out of the father's wealth. The indication in the scenario is there will always be conflict in that family. Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Gabriel on the line.
Okay, Gabriel, calling from?
That your analyst, I don't understand. I just don't understand. He's very tribalistic. Secondly, let them dredge Niger. Once they dredge Niger, you see the Igbo man going back to the east. Then we'll leave this place for them. That's my own contribution.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Ask your bigot guest the smart Yorubas who developed the Lagos alone. Okay. This person didn't write his name. Oh, I shouldn't have read that. Okay, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us the name where you're calling from.
My name is from Ayobo.
Okay, talk to us, sir.
This year, this year, guest, don't stop bringing that man to studio. He brings 2 tripartite and he really give me much time. He's really talking against you, showing hatred on you. Okay, now, is it only talking against you? Which time tripartite and tribal by Gotre? You are telling about Amnesty report about killing by police and the military and all that. Instead of talking about Soludo, what Soludo released with abroad, and normal Igbo politicians, they can betray entire Igbo race because of what they want. And number one, you're supposed to, when the man made mistake, you're supposed to correct the man. I expect you to correct the man. You are a journalist. He refused to correct it. He said Soludo said 99% of security issue problem or killings or whatever is from Southeast. It's like Soludo is not governor of Southeast. Soludo is governor of Anambra. Soludo is talking about Anambra. If 99 is talking about it, because if Soludo combine it, generate with all the whole state in Anambra, other states like Enugu, Abia also others. We come out say you can't say on behalf of all. You can't speak on it.
Okay.
The man talking about it, but the analysis are talking about generalities of all. Soludo is not governor of the whole Southeast. And the man too surprised to condemn Igbo. Even the Lagos now, he say everybody against Igbo. That's why people in Lagos say Igbo people should leave their place. They are destroying their place. They want to take. How can Igbo take Lagos now? This is all this thing are doing that make government go to the main thing is come out the capital to go position.
Okay.
Because of that rubbish character.
Thank you.
This Lagos now, they forget that Lagos is the former federal capital. It's built by everybody. Built by America. No be them. No be only them build that.
Thank you. We have to give chance for other people to talk, please. The man just they talk. Gusha. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. You've already wasted 90 seconds. Please.
Yes, Solomon.
Please, few seconds. Your name, where you're
Good
calling
evening.
from, please.
Good afternoon. I think it should be. Yeah, you should be.
Yeah,
afternoon.
it's afternoon. Please,
good,
1
good
minute.
Afternoon, Solomon.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Your name, where
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello.
Okay. I am so disappointed. I'm so at the barrister that just spoke a few minutes ago. I don't know how a learned man like him will come and say those things that he just said. He's so bigotic and myopic in thinking. Okay, he said he's from Ikorodu. How many Ikorodu people have been governor of Lagos State? Those people who are the governor of Lagos State now, is he from Lagos?
He said he lives in Ikorodu.
The Igbos he's talking about is not only Igbos that they're talking about. So those cross in Yoruba land, once you are across the Niger, you are called Igbo. As a matter of fact, those Edo from Edo, Kogi, and other, they are regarded as Igbos. I don't know what Igbos did to them that they just think the way they think. I'm so sad. That man. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Let me know. You know what? Please let him not come again. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, it's almost time for us to go. Let me just quickly read this one or two messages before I sign off. Good evening. Good afternoon, VOP and good people of Nigeria. Ikena from Ikorodu. I think your guest is one of the tribalistic man I've ever seen and heard. The Igbos do not sell a family land called Amaobi or Isiala, but we sell other land to anyone who are not like Yorubas who. We sell other lands to anyone. We are not like Yorubas who sell one plot of land to 5 to 6 people. If the Igbo man sees the land you want to buy is the type, when you buy it, it will be taken from you. They will not let their sons or daughter to sell it to the buyer. If you are talking about the Igbos like this, what do we make of the Fulani who go to another man's family land, farmland and villages and take it over and change the name of the place? What do this man mean, for God's sake? God save Nigeria. This is hand of APC. Okay. Good afternoon, Solomon. That your guest of today is pure enemy of the Igbos. He's the type of those that will give you house today, tomorrow, quit notice you. Give him chance on another radio to inform his people on how to treat Igbos in Lagos. This is very bad. Doze from Mafuluku. Good afternoon, Veva Voice on Radio, Mr. Solomon. You see, the problem we have in this country called Nigeria is that many people talking on radio does never traveled out of their environment. They are talking out of assumptions. Just ask them how Onisha look like. They will see them. You will see them counting their ceilings. I know what is causing all this hatred is envy and bad belly. It wasn't like this before until the 2023 election, where politicians brought out divide and rules to achieve their dubious aim. But one day, truth will come out. Ernest Izechuku from Akunwojo. Good afternoon, Solomon. This your analyst is an Igbo hater and a tribalist to the core. He is believing the statement of Soludo and disputing the report of Amnesty International. He's asking you, what are the Igbos coming to Lagos to do? The Igbos should go back to their state to develop them, as if Lagos was developed by Yoruba. Good afternoon, Solomon. We have been saying this. Let us go. Let Nigeria to allow this to go. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Please, I expected that in the analyst of the Amnesty International report that you bring a specialist from the East to do injustice to the matter. Aneke Chinonso. That's what I used to say on this platform. Igbos does not love themselves. Why would Soludo say it's their men that are killing themselves and attacking Obi because of his selfishness, political ambition? I'm Gideon. Let Igbos meet and unite themselves. Obi may win then, but time around it will not be easy for Obi this time around unless he joins Atiku. Good afternoon, Big Solo. If your guest is saying that the Igbos should go to their region to develop there, please, we beg him to help us tell the government to make Nigeria run a regional government. Normally, if the East is not the way it is, waiting person for the do for Lagos. Fred from Alakija. Good afternoon, Solomon. Your 1 hour with this guest is a waste. And Apple from Coca. Unfortunately, it's time for us to go. Thank you very much for all your contributions. I purposely brought a non-Yoruba person for us to hear the purposely brought a non-Igbo person rather to analyze this, to hear it from a perspective of a non-Igbo person. So tomorrow is another day. At the time is 1:30. The program is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Do follow our social media handles at VOP 903 FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 903 FM. Until I come your way again tomorrow, I am Solomon of FM. Bye bye.